try this again. Oh boy, welcome to the Cup, the currently unnamed podcast where the tea is piping hot and we're ready to spill. There's a myriad of intros. I just landed on that one today. It is what it is. I'm Logan Murphy, a Say Something Gay. This is the second time we tried to record this, but I'm still drinking bubbly bounce sparkling water.
I am still Stark. I am still in Germany. I am still up at 5 a.m. So thank you to everybody that listens and watches this episode in its entirety in honor of my sacrifice. This is what I do for people. Wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, and I have piping hot peach tea.
Is it still piping hot, or are we leaning more towards lukewarm?
It's lukewarm.
Oh, good.
But it's still delicious. And if you're still watching, call me.
Good. Yeah, so we had a tech issue about 10 minutes into our other recording. I'm going to be real honest. So, but we are here. We're talking about the first two episodes of week 4 of Survivor SA, Return of the Outcasts. It's merge.
We've made merge. They're two very good episodes, though.
Very
it was
good.
The whole week is very good. It's a very exciting first week of merge. So I'm excited to get to the second half at some point after this.
But for now, we have to talk about the first half.
Yeah.
So we come back from Tribal Council. Everybody is at the new Salon Beach. I don't like that the merge tribe is pre-named.
I was gonna say I like when Survivor's you get no creative freedom for the name. We are naming it for you. You can make your flag. That's what you get. Because what happens when people can name their own tribe? We get things like America. Yep, and not a fan of that. Also, but I would be the asshole that shows up and be like, oh, Flibberty Nibbits is Filipino for whatever, and just convinces somebody that a stupid made up word is an actual word.
Horrible.
So as a player, I would want that satisfaction knowing that everybody thinks that I have named.
And if you make
some inspiring word.
Well, if you make Final Tribal, you can be like, my social game is so good that I convinced you all that this was a word in whatever language, in whatever country we're in. When in reality, no, bitch, this has nothing to do with anything. So if you need to check my social game, here you go.
Yeah. But so I'm a point being, I'm not mad at the name.
It's whatever. But yes, so we're there. We have lost icon, legend, star, beautiful human, Palesa.
Mm-hmm. Very sad. But everybody's going back to the same camp. Everybody's doing the traditional congrats, hugs.
Oh my god, hi! Oh my gosh, hi!
Yes. The only reason that this is interesting is because it's in the dark for the first time ever.
Literally.
But we don't get a traditional merge feast breakfast, which I think is what they were all expecting. It's what I was expecting as an audience member.
Sure.
But we're in a new era of Survivor where you have to work for what you eat.
And speaking of new things, Ashley Keenan! We cannot hear Ashley Keenan! Oh no! No, we still cannot hear Ashley Keenan. Oh no! Oh no! Surprise! Surprise! It's Ashley, but she won't be saying anything. She'll just be
here to look amazing.
Hello. Oh my goodness!
Yay!
Hello, welcome. Hello.
That is definitely going to be going in the end of the year clip. I can already tell.
Make an entrance, but make it that way.
Absolutely. Ashley Keenan is here.
How are you both? I'm sorry to intrude.
We're
sure
here.
We're talking about great fun things.
We're talking about merge. We're
Yeah,
that
merge
far
us.
behind that we're talking about merge.
You know, we're all having a good day. It sounds like we made merge. We're not
Life
eating.
is difficult sometimes, okay? There are 49,000 seasons of Drag Race. I'm doing the best I can.
And I'm
You know?
doing none of them.
Tea.
Ashley, I hope we'll be on one eventually.
One of these days, I'll have to catch up and watch to do it. But I've been watching SA.
So much Survivor SA to do, though. We got there's so much SA to cover, but yes, we're talking. So we're at the breakfast, so it's not a merge feast. We're doing the Future Life breakfast, Ashley, to catch you.
A Future Life, great sponsor, great friend of the show. They could send me one. I want to try it. Thank you.
Right? I'm like, we have South African connections. Can we get some Future Life?
I'd like to try it.
I will pay for some Future Life.
No, I want to try like everything that the food they bring, like any of these new challenges. Yeah, please. But anyways, yes, merge. Yes.
So this is where we get Bowl Gate, which is a lovely moment. Steffi apparently calls one of the bowls of the breakfast oatmeal ?
Can we? Do we know why Steffi had a special bowl? Was there like no?
Nope,
I think she called dibs.
No, there's no context at all.
Because I was like, here's the thing: if you wanted that bowl so bad, you better get up and go grab it and just hold it.
Or ask, like, I am being very lazy right now. Will you please bring me the bowl that I am calling dibs on? And I don't know if Tajan just like missed the memo or if he just did not care. I don't know what the difference in this bowl was. But Tajan ends up grabbing her bowl, I guess, and then Steffi ends up getting up to look for her bowl and freaks out that half of her muffin is gone. I'm sorry, that her bowl is gone.
Wrong show. Okay, yep. No, edit the note.
She's trying to find her crackers, but they have salt and lime in them, or water and lime in them. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Unlike Big Brother, I do feel for Steffi. Clearly, there's some sort of significance for this bowl, but also like I don't understand. Like I think the only point of including this like part in the episode is to show that Tajan is like grating on people's nerves. I don't think that there's really any other significance. There's really no other context as to why this event happened. But they get their Neutral Life like merge feast ? Breakfast. And then we end up going to the reward challenge where you have to work for what you eat.
Which some people didn't do any work.
That part. I was going to say, Ashley, how do you feel about the earn your reward? Because I know you've seen it on Australia as well, so we have a bit of a like context. And I forget if you've watched Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like in Australia there's a little more good rewards compared to bad, shitty rice.
A singular egg.
One egg. You get protein, but that's it. And then, like, literally, Nico's like, yeah, anyone could go help if you want. Like, okay, no, let them sit there for an hour. No.
I want Meryl to have to stand out there for an hour while she tries to shoot down these 2 discs with a marble and a slingshot. Okay.
Right. I want to know at what point production had to like go refill her bowl, or if she had to like start picking out of marbles
from
out of
other people's bowls
that
had
already finished. It's a mess.
It really is.
I do kind of wish that it had just been like this. I would have liked to see like the hold the ball over your head or some sort of like maybe physical like running. Like something, I don't know, like the skill of like being needing to know how to use a slingshot. It did, but like I mean, clearly there were like 3 or 4 people that needed help, and Nico was like, "Can we hurry this up? Like, go help them."
Right, like if you all want to strategize, go get your pebbles and go.
Right. So let's talk about what everybody got. Felix gets ribs and chips, which that looked good. I was very happy for him.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one. Like, even if it's a little cold, that'd be fine.
Steffi gets second in this challenge and decides, I'm going to take one of the covered items, and she gets a whole bowl of white rice.
Now, if that were me, I'd say covered item or I know there's a full beer over there and something else with it. I'm gonna go get that.
Is it because the burger and chips that Shane gets, wasn't that also uncovered?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm taking the burger.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Unless like Steffi is expecting. Well, did he say that there were like advantages and like non-food reward items? I don't think that he did. So like, unless she was expecting that, like it really does not make sense why she picked a covered item first.
But then, just my favorite part of this entire episode was the cuts to Steffi when everyone is bringing over their food and she's just crying into her rice bowl, just eating rice and crying.
It's probably the best rice she's had in 18 days, 20
days.
It's
not crunchy.
But it's not like ocean water though either. Like, I'm sure exactly. It was probably there's pros and cons, Steffi. Come on.
Yeah.
At least you got to eat something.
Yeah.
Looks sad.
So Phil gets rice and spices for the tribe. And then he also gets a key to what we later find out to be a box of beers at the camp. And I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
So Steffi got rice and a beer.
Yeah, something.
Good on you, gal. Like I said, Shane gets the burger and chips. Marion takes the full South African breakfast. Dino gets the save the date advantage.
Something he knows about because he's getting married.
Yes. We love to see it. But so the terms are, if you survive to day 32, you get to go to the outpost. And so we're at day 20 as this is happening.
Oh my god, that's forever.
Yeah. I was like, this has to be like final 5?
It's final 5 or 6, yeah. That
final
makes
5 or 6.
The last advantage points, yeah.
Because it seems like they're going to be doing double days for the most part.
I will be really interested, like, if we get to see like what is at the outpost, because clearly it's significant enough that you're going to make a big deal about giving out that advantage publicly, like at the merge episode. But also like making it almost 2 weeks, like with basically an advantage that everybody knows that you have. Like,
but nobody knows what his advantage is. That's the thing. Or no, they do know.
They know because he had to, like, everybody had to reveal it, right?
Yeah, he goes, because Nico went, Dino, you got a little brown package there, yeah? And he's like, oh, shit.
Everybody's got a sack. Everybody's got a sack.
A sack.
You got a sack? Everybody's got a sack? Sacks? Do we have them?
We need a sack tally, please.
Honestly, we almost had one in the last episode. Do you have a sack? Ashley, sack check.
Yeah, right here. Here's my little brown sack.
Oh, good. I don't have one near me. No,
I don't either.
I have. Oh, well, that's not really a sack. It's a tin of pre-rolls.
You know,
and pre-rolled joints. We'll go with that. Honestly, sure. We'll go with that.
It's
today.
still better than rice. Still better than rice.
That is much better than rice. Exponentially better than rice.
Still better.
Let's see what else. Tajan gets one of the covered ones, and he gets spaghetti bolagnese and wine.
Great. I just had spaghetti. I would lose my mind over that.
Because carbs, protein, carbs, wine.
Dante takes the beer and snacks because duh. Killarney gets, I think, donuts. Hers was like the one that I couldn't tell what it was.
Oh.
It was kind of like skimmed over because Killarney has now taken over the post merge role that Phil and Felix held pre-merge.
Of literally not getting airtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was donuts. We're gonna say it was donuts.
I think it's donuts. Yeah, that feels right.
Of some kind. Meryl gets the outsurance out bonus reward token,
which is
sponsored.
Not enough outs in there. not enough outs
at all. Clearly, not even close to sponsored. But she gets to choose any reward to go on.
Could you imagine if the U.S. Survivor had like sponsored like advantages? Like,
Walmart.
I was just walking down and like I saw this blue ribbon and I found this Geico immunity idol. Like,
right.
You could save 5%.
Geico Gecko immunity nullifier. Oh my god. The Delta fly out of tribal council pass.
Wait, didn't they do that with a Sprint fan favorite back in the day?
They did.
The Sprint fan favorite. And then they had Sprint like sponsor like at a
work fan favorite.
Yes,
fan favorite.
And that's when they got money, not Sia.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, I would take Sia over money.
I'm good.
Sia money.
I'm fine.
I'll take
I don't
her money.
Need Sia. I'll take her money.
Yeah.
I don't need her. I'll take the money.
Very much.
And then Tony gets an egg.
You know, I love a hard-boiled egg. So I'd be not like I wouldn't be happy, but I'd be like, oh, it's protein.
I don't, but I would eat it.
Was this an uncovered item?
100%.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Oh, yes, because he talked about it. It's like an egg.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And she was.
I mean, if I had a choice of covered items and an egg, I'm taking a covered item. Like.
Yeah.
But that's well after all of the uncovered are gone.
Yeah. This is like the last option. Like everybody else also was like egg, covered item. I'm gonna go with covered item.
I'm gonna take covered item. Yeah, sure.
And it got to the point where like people were struggling that like they had to go help them. So like Tony was the last person.
Like, I'm bored.
Right.
Well, and Tony was the last person to receive help. Like I think everybody went over to help Killarney.
Meryl. Killarney.
And
yes.
Tony's
and
oh boy.
Tony called them out, was like, oh, nobody's gonna walk all the way down to the end and help me. And so Dino like ran over and
I think Dino was on his way before she said it. I feel like he's like, knowing Dino, hopefully, he's a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I do miss the days of, getting absolutely shit-faced at a merge feast. I did like this one. Just because, Tony got an egg. And you know what? I like to see it.
Right.
I do wish that they had just all been food items. I still don't know how I'm feeling about, like, the merge feast also passing out, like, advantages that everybody knows about.
Sure.
But also, here's the thing. There's 1,200 advantages already in the game. So I'm like, well, did we need to put advantages in?
Yeah.
That's my second question. Because, damn, I need a cheat sheet. Please.
Yeah, it's really good that they've started adding, like, what advantages people have when they're doing confessionals.
So
did you see Meryl's? It's a scroller now. Like at the bottom of the screen,
just
like it's like doop. The girl.
We'll talk about another advantage for Meryl later on, but yeah. So we go back to the camp, and breaking news, everyone: Dante is not actively targeting Dino.
Craziness.
Boom, boom, boom. Yet. Don't hold your breath. He needed a nap.
Well, exactly. But for the time being, he says, I think we should vote out Tony. And I was like, you didn't say Dino? What?
She did win that egg. She's got all that protein, like clearly now a massive threat.
And all Dante has is just a giant fucking beer, as if he needed alcohol to fuel all of his neuroticism. Yeah.
Well, the thing too for me, like, he's like, well, Tony has everyone, but then like you look at the reward just then, like literally no one was going to help Tony.
Clearly, no one has.
So it's like that's an interesting counterpoint of like, okay, that if you're gonna say you want Tony out, just say you want Tony out,
right?
Just, you know,
yeah.
T.
And Steffi is playing the middle, which I think is a good place for Steffi to be in. She's got her breakfast club, she's got the full package, but then she's also, floating around. She was working with Tony very closely at Masu 2.0. So we've got Steffi just like in the middle, trying to figure out what she's doing. And then we see the No BS Alliance as well. As a reminder, Felix, Dino, and Phil. And they're kind of floating through alliances as well. There's the potential that they're going to work with Tony and Tajan. They say Steffi. Tony tells the No BS Alliance that Steffi is on their side, but Dino is like, I don't know who Tony thinks she has, but I don't think Tony has these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Felix is in the precarious situation where he's obviously very close with Dante. Dante wants Tony out, so Felix has to convince Dino and Phil that it's not a good idea to work with Tony, because he needs all of his ducks to be in the same corner for as long as possible. Yeah. Unlike Steffi, who's very much trying to like play the middle, all sides, and saying like, "Yeah, I got you, bro."
But I also got you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, playing the middle's good, but there's a point where you have to like merge. I think it's a great time where you're like, choose a side.
Commit.
Yeah. Do it or do not. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And I don't think that, and obviously we're like episode 1 of the merge, but I don't remember if I think it was Dante says it. But at one point he says like, not everybody's target is the same, and not everybody's targeting the same people for the same reason. And so like, what is best for your game is not necessarily what's best for other people in your alliance's game. And he flat out calls that like, we're just kind of living in a voting block era where like, if what's good for me is also good for people that I'm not working with, like we're all still going to vote together because it's good for all of us, even if that is counterintuitive to my actual alliance, which is really interesting to have somebody say like, I'm fully aware that I could and have been actively working against my own alliance because like they don't want the person out that I want out.
I think that has a lot to do with the dynamics of this specific season and how many like pre-existing alliances and friendships we had going into the season. I think it's really interesting to see sort of this like devolution in a way of like, hey, we started the game and we were doing these alliance things and like that's really cool and fun and different, but now we're like, let's voting block and see how far that gets us. But also like, I don't want like, it's like voting blocks, but you have people that you want to protect.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting way of playing Survivor, because the way that we saw voting blocks kind of develop in the like in the mid 30s. Yeah, I was gonna say in the mid 30s of I would even say from like millennial Gen X to like Winners at War had a little bit of that as well. And we've kind of seen a shift in 41 and 42. But seeing the like evolution of the voting block concept, we never really saw, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a Survivor historian as much as I would like to be, but we didn't see a lot of examples of people saying, oh, I want to protect this person, and this person. It's more so, I have this one person that I really, really like and that I want to keep safe. And typically we vote together. So let's make some things happen. And I really like the way this is seeming to develop as kind of a different way to do it.
And I think a lot of the players are being very fluid within their voting, I don't know, blocks. Like, you know, obviously Dino's had to be fluid because he's been at the bottom, but like his fluidity is making it a good place for him to be. It's interesting.
Yeah, at this point, Dante, Phil, and even Felix, to a degree, like are in a great spot because they know that they are needed votes. Whereas a lot of times you will just have like a mass majority. Like if you go into the merge with majority, you can just pick off the low hanging fruit, and then like maybe one of them survives because that one person is then going to be like an extra number for you. But now you have like Phil and Felix, Killarney, and Dino like all have like options because they're all seen as like extra numbers for those voting blocks. Which it's a very interesting gameplay to see. It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, definitely, and it's making voting interesting as well. These voting blocks, as you can see it within the votes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Let's talk about the immunity challenge. First, individual immunity challenge. You have to hold onto a rope and dangle yourself over water.
Makes for great TV. Very exciting.
Is this where Phil pees?
It sure is.
Yeah.
Like right out of the gate.
Like, couldn't he have done that like a minute before like they hopped up? Like
quite literally, like
go downstream.
Hey, literally, I'm like, hey, let me just go like pee in the ocean real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a few.
I'll be back.
But he said, no, I know how TV works. This will make the edit for sure. Because he's funny.
I really, truly have come a full 180 on Phil, and I'm loving Phil.
100%.
Because actually, you remember those early weeks I was like, I don't know about Phil.
You're like, Phil can go.
Phil can go. Phil could go yesterday. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm loving Phil. I'm on the Phil train. So this challenge is pretty uneventful, if I'm being 100% honest. It comes down to Shane, Tajan, Steffi, and Phil as the final four of the challenge. And
I think the most exciting part of it is Dante drops like 2 seconds after the first person, so he can talk strategy in the bench. The bench was way more exciting than like the actual, activities. I'll say that's what I was like, Dante, you like threw. You so up. Or was that the last? Am I confusing them?
It was the last one where he like dropped and then went and sat on the bench with Felix.
Yeah.
But this one he also so Felix was the first to drop. Dante was the fourth.
And because it was basically Felix, Dino, and Killarney. And I think that Dante's, like I said, sees an opportunity where you've got three people who are going to be good for his voting block game, and he just goes over and is like, let me just go have a little chit chat with these guys who are in the minority as it would be for the merge tribe.
And that shows his comfortability. Complacency, maybe also someone might say. Depends on which side of the glass you're looking at. If you're looking from Dante's side, I think he's comfortable. He's like, I got the numbers, I'm fine, I'll never happen. But we'll talk about it later.
We sure will. And it comes down ultimately to Steffi and Phil. And Phil wins an immunity challenge.
Outlast Steffi.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say it. It's because she didn't get her breakfast bowl.
Yeah, the one with the special oats, probably.
Maybe.
Or she didn't pee. One of the two. It's hard to know.
It's incredibly hard to know.
The survivor mysteries.
The world may never know. Oh my God. So we go back to camp. Tony is telling Dino that he needs to get Steffi on side because, Steffi is with Tony. And Dino once again is like, I don't know who Tony thinks she has, but I don't think she has Steffi. And in reality, to an extent, she did. Because Steffi throughout this whole thing is like, I don't know what side to go with.
Yeah, it was becoming very obvious at the end of the pre-merge that like Steffi was bonding with Tony, wanted to work with Tony, and I think that Steffi's ideal like voting area is that they're targeting pre-merge players because she can stick with this Breakfast Club and also like continue to work with Tony and like figure out like where she needs to be like long term. But Dante is kind of like twisting everybody's arm saying like Tony needs to be the vote, not Dino, surprisingly. But
Shocker.
Tony is the threat.
Don't worry, y'all. We'll get to Tuesday's episode where guess what? Dino is the target again. But
we took a 1 episode break.
Quite literally a 1 episode break.
Well, it's crazy to me because Dante's like, oh, Dino will win all these competitions pre-merge. Now it's merged, and you're like, did you forget what you were drinking last week? The tea you were spilling then? Like, we're merged. It's individual now, bestie. Like, what you doing?
But Dino's just such a target. You know what? If we don't take Dino out, he's going to win this whole game. Dino really is the target. Dino's going to manipulate everybody. Dino, and a side of Dino.
I think he got distracted that Tony won immunity, i.e. was given between her and Tajan and Steffi. Like, girl, I was like,
but,
okay.
And also, she got an egg.
She did get
last place. Last place at the challenge.
It's a magical egg, I was told.
Nobody wanted to help her. She got that egg. Now, here's my question to the group. Do we think Dante is targeting Dino because secretly he's craving Dino chicken nuggets?
Oh, shit.
Maybe. Just a constant reminder.
Yep.
Dino. I wonder.
Because in a South African accent, it would be like Dino, which sounds a little bit like Dino.
He's probably hungry. That's fair.
Do they have such low standards in South Africa where they shape their chicken nuggets like dinosaurs?
Tweet out a poll.
let me call Santini really quick.
Oh, hey.
It is 6 a.m. for her. You let her sleep.
I will let her sleep.
I'll post in a chat though.
Sure. Thank you. Much appreciated. Dino says that he wants to work with Steffi, and Steffi asks him about Tony, and he's like, That's exactly what happened. Yes. Yeah. And then the Tony is talking to Shane about potentially targeting Dante, and that goes nowhere because the majority group has decided that they're going to split their votes on Tony and Tajan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but Tajan finds an idol, right?
He sure does.
Because he's running. He's a track star, just running around.
He decided he was going to climb up a whole ass tree.
Yeah. She said, I've got time.
Yeah. I've got nowhere to be.
To do on an island.
He ate.
I don't need to strategize with anybody.
He ate Steffi's oatmeal. That gave the special powers to climb the tree and find that idol.
That's why Steffi lost the immunity challenge.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy we came to the bottom of this. So yes, Tajan gets an idol. We'll talk about it. It's not long-lived, but
no,
he found it. He sure did. And then this is where we kind of get the split where the No BS Alliance is talking about wanting to target Tajan, but the Breakfast Club is targeting Tony. So, like, what's gonna happen? Ooh. But we go to Tribal and not much happens.
Well, the edit tries to make it look like something happens.
Yeah, it was fairly uneventful as far as Tribal goes. Even in comparison to the last one, Nico does not invite the whole tribe to get up and talk to each other mid-tribal council like he does the tribal before. So there's no live tribal.
How rude.
But I know, really, he should. I know. So I found the voting breakout very interesting, of like how they were figuring out who was going to vote who.
Right.
Because they basically just let the No BS Alliance like vote together as a block.
And did that expose the No BS Alliance at all? No! Not even a little bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we get the votes. We get our beautiful urn. This is one of my favorite voting urns ever. I think I've brought it up before, but like this is one of my absolute favorite voting urns. Because it's a pyramid. I'm like, that's an interesting new shape. I love to see it.
Yeah, I do like it a lot.
So Tajan decides he's going to play his idol because apparently he can't hold on to the idol, even though the idol was valid until Final 6.
But maybe he thought he had it easy tonight. He watched like an episode where it was a one night idol or something, and he's like, it's probably this, right? I didn't read the instructions. No?
Right.
That wasn't what it is? Oh, fuck.
I don't know. But
because like he got 3 votes, yes, sure. But like, did he really feel that like paranoid? That's my question. Like, was the paranoia that high?
Well, the thing is, had he used his idol on Tony, he would have gone home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we do lose Tony. Tony is juror number 1, the mayoress of Ponderosa. So yeah, Breakfast Club and Killarney vote for Tony. No BS votes for Tajan. Tony votes for Meryl, and Tajan votes for Dante.
Yeah. That's crazy. She was like fed the Meryl line, and literally no one else voted. It's like she hook, line, and sinker to herself out of there. But I think she took it like a champ. She said,
unlike someone else we will talk about this episode, she took it like a champ.
That's true. Tony said, I've done it. I've been here. I'm happy. I'm going to go eat food. Not an egg.
That part. She gets a moment to herself. By herself at Ponderosa. Good on you, girl.
It's always fun to see Tony on my big screen, small screen, computer screen. So, and I'll be watching Ponderosa to see. Because it's there.
Yeah. Let's move to episode 14. We go back to camp. Tajan was blindsided.
Very upset about it.
Yes,
very upset. Voted for me. 3 people.
3 of them.
And I burned my idol. So
it's fine.
It's
fine. And Steffi talks about how she really didn't have a choice because she's kind of aligned with the Breakfast Club. She's with the full package, so she needed to cut the tie to Tony at this point, which was going to be what was best for her game. So more power to her.
Yeah, at least she's owning it. Like I think that she was visibly upset on at least one of her confessionals where she was like having to vote out Tony, but still, like I think it's the smarter move for her to cut Tony. Tony is not mass numbers for her like the Breakfast Club is.
Absolutely. And I don't think I think Tony would turn on Steffi before in Steffi's mind anyone else would turn on her.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that. So we get this interesting conversation between Meryl and Tajan where they're having a discussion. Meryl asks how she became a target, and Tajan tells her about how Steffi said that the split in the Palesa vote should be between Meryl and Dante.
And Meryl's like, I mean, I get why it should be me because I know what I have, but why?
Well, she just straight up doesn't believe him. When in reality,
that actually happened.
The truth.
Yeah.
But she I think she used the word impossible. Like it is impossible that happened. So I know that he's lying.
Well, what you want to think isn't necessarily what you're gonna think.
Yes, Miss Gia. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ashley. I was like, I think, So we then get a conversation with Marion and Shane saying that Dante has to go next. And Meryl then is in a separate conversation then with Marion and Phil saying that, she's always going to be associated with Dante and she's tired of it because he's horrible.
Yeah. It was something we've covered a lot on the Cup about horrible.
Oh boy, have we?
Yes, we sure have.
Oh boy, have we?
And we will.
Yes.
And tonight will be the cherry on the top of that.
Oh no, I will continue to talk shit about that man as much as I possibly can.
And what's interesting is I think that like if Dante doesn't have this expired immunity idol, I think that's the vote instead of Palesa. I think that the vote ends up being Dante.
I was screaming at my computer. I'm like, G hasn't shown you. I was like, people need to ask more questions about this damn idol. Anyways, I regress.
Anyway, we get the emergence of a secret alliance. Secret alliance. between Phil and Marion.
Unexpected pairing, but I'm not mad at it.
I like to see it. I'm here for it.
Do they have outside connections?
I don't know. They're from the same season, so
okay. Perhaps.
I don't remember if they were. I don't remember if they were on the same tribe at all. I don't like the pre-merge of champions is a complete blur for me. But yeah, this is a lovely thing. And then guess what, y'all? Tony's gone now. Dante's back to targeting Dino.
Yeah, surprised to nobody.
Not in the slightest. Yep, we're back to targeting Dino because Dino is just the world's biggest fucking threat, apparently. So, yeah. Sure.
We go to the immunity challenge, right? And it's they're racing. They're running in the sand.
Yeah, so this is a challenge I've seen similarly done on the challenge. I remember specifically there was a season, I think, Ashley, you've watched this one, so this is not going to be a spoiler, where there's a big old running up a hill challenge, and then our queen, icon, and legend, Davon Rogers, wins the challenge.
She sure does.
But this time it's the South African version of that. You have to run up a dune 3 times, grabbing keys. We just saw a similar challenge on Australian Survivor, Brain versus Brawn.
Oh, yeah.
To run up, yeah.
Where Garrett... I can't remember.
Was that his name?
Or not? Was it Garrett or Andrew? Andrew wins, maybe.
How do you get Garrett and Andrew confused?
All I remember, honest
to God,
all I remember Way, icon, legend, and star Way. I remember George because I hated him. I remember Haley because she's an icon. Simon.
Because I love her.
Kez. I remember Kez.
Yes.
I liked her.
Mm-hmm. Can we do a retroactive season of watch?
Honestly, I would love to go back and rewatch some Australian Survivor.
I'm in.
We'll plan it. Or South African. Yeah, I'm game for both. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yes, and then you have to run down and complete a hexagon puzzle. This was a new puzzle.
Yeah.
I was like, new puzzles. I love to see new puzzles. We love that. But yeah, so Tajan and Dante are the first to get their boxes, but obviously neither one of them is very adept with puzzling, so everybody catches up eventually. And it's a pretty close challenge overall.
Who's in the running?
Dino, I think, was up there. I think Marion was in it. I think Killarney was in it. Meryl was in it. Tajan, based solely on the amount of time he had on the puzzle, I think was in it.
Because he was third.
Literally,
I'm second.
He was second. It was because it was Dante first to the puzzle, then Tajan,
and then Dino, right?
Then Dino.
Yeah, that's and that's probably why Dante's targeting Dino so heavily because he comes in third a lot.
Yeah,
tragic.
But he didn't win immunity because guess who did? Meryl! Yay! I'm so happy because this is her first immunity win as well.
Yes, it's very emotional for her. She got a little teary-eyed. It was the day that she won immunity on the day that she was voted out in her first season, and then it was also her son's birthday that day. So it was a very momentous occasion for her to be able to get immunity on that day specifically, which we love to see.
I love how many full circle moments that we've gotten on this season. We saw Pinty, Chorizo, all of the pre-mergers that have made it to this point, making it past their point. And I'm happy that we're now seeing the post-mergers also starting to get those milestone things where Meryl's I'm at least doing better than I did last time. Cool.
Yeah.
That at least is something. Need. Yeah. Well, obviously 2 million rand, but this is a nice moment. So she also wins a Chinese stir fry reward, which love.
All I could think of when I heard Chinese was Nick's birthday and Sarah Lucina. That's all I could think of. I was like, it's probably not going to be good, right?
So the way that she picked the people that were going on this reward was really interesting to me. She went ahead and picked all the people that didn't get to eat at the like merge feast, which 2 of those people did not get to eat because they walked away with advantages.
Which some people might think is better, right? Right.
And well, no. Phil didn't walk away with a real advantage.
Phil didn't walk away with a real advantage, but also Steffi walked away with food, and Dante did not, and she still picked.
Dante did.
Dante
there was like a little snack, whatever. I don't know what it is.
Like Barbie.
Yeah, it was the big beer. Then it was there was like a snack on the side. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
sorry,
I'm dumb.
To the people of South Africa.
I got the advantage that Dino walked away with, which is the whole reason Dino's on the reward.
Yeah.
So, but Dino, Meryl, Steffi, and Phil all go on this reward to eat Chinese takeout, and they're all very excited about it.
But plot twist.
And then their souls are crushed.
And then they get a moral dilemma, and I'm like, this is a wild moment to have a moral dilemma.
Yeah.
So they're like, you can... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what I would do. Like if Meryl is there and Meryl is... Well, so, for context, they have to either eat the reward that they just won, or give up the reward and take blankets back for everybody.
Let's play a game of what would you do?
I don't know if I would give up.
I'm taking the food
for blankets.
I'm taking the food. I don't give a single fuck. I'm taking the food.
But Meryl being there, she was like, I'm gonna vote for the blankets. Mama Bear kicked in. They do say that it has been very cold out there, so I guess it's a matter of actually, to be fair, I think that I've never been on Survivor. I don't know if that's a surprise to anybody. But
what?
I know. I know that's the only reason that I'm on this podcast is because you thought that
they wouldn't cast you, a middle-aged white man, on Survivor?
Did you just call him middle-aged?
How dare you call me middle-aged?
Not the white man. We're fine with that.
But I enjoy my snacks, but I also hate the cold. So it would really be a really, really rough decision to figure out is this food going to satisfy me enough that I am willing to be cold for it tonight?
I feel like Chinese. The problem a lot of people have with Chinese is, does it stick with you very long? Like when you eat, how hungry are you soon after you eat it? That's my question.
It's a lot of carbs. It's a lot of noodles. But
I'm in this moment forgetting how old Stark is. That's all I can focus on at this point. I don't remember.
Middle-aged. That's all you need to know.
Middle-aged.
I don't think I know. In all reality.
We literally just had a conversation before we started recording the first time where I was talking about having kids at the same age as the 20-year-olds and the 40-year-olds. I'm in the middle. I'm in my 30s. My early 30s. Thank you.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to see myself out. Goodbye.
Anyway, welcome back to the channel.
I'm the only one that knows how to run this. I have to stay here.
No, I know how to run it. I just don't have access.
That's fair.
I don't want you to go, Logan. You can call me middle-aged any day.
It's fine. Everything is fine. So they bring blankets back to the fucking tribe.
And they're not grateful. Just like Logan. No, just like Stark's not grateful.
They are low-key just super unimpressed by these blankets.
I would be okay, I understand from both perspectives, because Meryl was like, well, I'm coming in as the queen of blankets. What do you mean? I gave up my Chinese stir fry for this.
But that was in confessional, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, after I think that because that was clearly filmed after the fact.
Right.
Yeah, but there was definitely a sense of entitlement for them to be grateful.
She wanted them to do a little bit of this.
Yeah, which was interesting. But especially because when she was at the decision, she presented it as like, Mama Bear kicked in, like I just want to protect and like make sure people are taken care of. And like you don't like make sure people are taken care of and like protect and then be like, you must thank me for looking out for you like that.
Right.
Like,
but I also do
it
understand that, like, if you're going to give up a reward for something like this big for the whole tribe, when everybody has collectively talked about how cold they are, like,
yeah.
I understand that to an extent. So I understood both sides of everything. But then they get this fortune cookie nonsense.
Which, ugh, girl. What, this fortune cookie?
If they had not been randomly drawn out of a glass jar, like I would have sworn it was staged.
Yes. Right. Like the story, the editors probably loved it for their story of that. And they're like, oh, we can do so much with this. But damn, it was not satisfying.
Because the note says everybody gets a fortune cookie and it reveals your fate, which, spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't know, that's what a fortune cookie is supposed to do, quote unquote.
And not say this cookie doesn't have a fortune, try again, which I've gotten. Yeah.
Work, Eva. I've definitely gotten some that just like through the manufacturer just didn't get a fortune in it, or it was like half a fortune.
Oh, so it was like devastating.
It was like the world, the world needs, and then it was like cut off, and then it was like satisfaction, and I'm like, okay, the world needs satisfaction. Work, okay, go off world. But no. So Meryl gets the special fortune cookie, and she gets to go to the outpost.
She's very excited about it, and nobody else is.
Just like the blankets. Same energy of like, well, what you get another thing? You're safe. You could have got Chinese, and you get blankets, and now you get an outpost.
We see a couple people very close to Meryl getting kind of upset about it. The first being Dante, because before they come back from getting the blankets, Dante's like, well, I can't believe that she took Dino because, we're trying to target Dino, and Dino is the biggest threat here. And like, now that he's on a reward, there's the opportunity that like he could get an advantage. So like, what do we do? I can't believe that she took Dino. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. First, second, and third of all. And then when Meryl goes to the outpost, Marion is like, she just became the single biggest threat in the game. And then proceeds to tell Phil about Meryl's tribal council pass.
Which really solidifies like that she is willing to work with Phil. If for no other reason than that voting block mentality of targeting Meryl. But it still was surprising that she would like offer up that information. And I'm sure Phil was loving it.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. So do we want to talk about the outpost real quick? Because it happens after the challenge.
Yeah, we can do whenever. I mean, we can talk about it since we're talking about it now. It doesn't really affect the challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't affect. Yeah. So Meryl goes to the outpost and she gets the 50-50 coin, which is another thing that has been brought over. I don't think Australia has done it. I don't remember.
It definitely started with US, right?
It definitely started with US. I don't remember what season.
It was recent-ish.
It was one of the
Winners at War.
It might have been Winners at War
because they gave us weird, stupid shit from the edge, right? Like
fire tokens.
The best thing in the world.
Oh my god! I mean, it was because Natalie Anderson got second.
She should
have gotten first, but
Stan. I'm watching her challenge season, so I feel
period. I need her back on the challenge.
Yes.
Anyway, so if Meryl, it's basically an idol, but you flip a coin.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite advantages. I'm gonna be honest. Like just in general, because I think like the concept of like, oh, I have safety, and you can feign it as like you have an idol, but in reality it's still like a 50-50 situation. I like that sort of like caveat with the idol.
It's either an idol or a fake idol.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. You
I would just be walking around like with the coin, like with the safe sign out, and be like, I have an idol. It says I'm safe. Like there's nothing on the backside of this. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but she loses her vote.
Yeah, she does lose her vote.
I
Which
don't
now
think she cares.
Well, now
She
she's
does
like,
not.
oh boy, I can't vote out Dante. Oh no.
See, that's like when I play games and like I get like a no vote and I'm working both sides. I'm like, can't expose where I'm at if I don't have a vote.
That part, yes.
Right? So yeah, I feel that. I felt that.
Yeah. So guess what? Dante still can't stop talking about Dino. Sorry, Stark, you were saying something.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think that this works for Meryl, but I don't think that it makes any difference because the vote is I think pretty set in stone. Like, it's either going to be Dante or Dino at this point, unless we see a flip vote to Meryl. But I don't think that is going to happen.
Well, she had immunity, so you can't vote for Meryl.
I'm so dumb. It's 6:30. Okay,
it's 6:30 in the morning. It's all good.
Also,
I got it.
Also, I'm middle aged. Like, I'm getting kind of senile in my.
The middle age is so close to over the hill. Yeah, I hear you. I hear it. I get it.
Oh,
okay,
I love you,
I
Logan.
have to give the context that the majority of the people that I'm currently like working with in my everyday life, the median age of those people is 19.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I always feel. Thank you. I always feel like the old person.
I also always feel like the old person.
And let me give you the polar opposite. I work with people who are 70 and up, 60s, 70s, and I am the youngest person. I had to teach my coworker what a URL, or as he called it, an URL was.
An URL. Period. Shout out to Earl Cole. We love Earl.
So, if that makes you feel young, take it.
No. Oh boy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Anyway.
We're talking about surviving.
Yeah, so we've got the plans. Dante is the target. Meryl's ready to be done with Dante. And Dino still does not believe Meryl and Steffi. And I'm just like, Dino, this paranoia got you out the first time. Breathe. And then later he does talk to Phil and he's like, I can't tell if this is paranoia talking. And I'm like, thank God we have a self-aware king. Like, honestly.
And I think this season, what Dino has other than self-awareness is someone to bounce ideas off that actually he trusts. Compared to his first season, I don't think he truly found that rock quite early and enough to help him. So, improvement!
We love improvement. Shane is a little upset about voting for Dante. This is a tough vote for him.
He did it once already. He did it his first vote. He voted Dante already.
I was like, but
I know you know how to write it, so you can do it again.
Exactly. Like, hello.
But we're on day 23. It's clearly different than day 5.
Day 5.
Like, it's a whole two weeks later.
Right. That's a whole different game in modern Survivor.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then Meryl tells the full package, as well as Dino and Killarney are there in this situation, about her no vote. She does not reveal that she has the 50-50, but she has the no vote, so that's cool.
Yeah, she presents it as like, I went to the outpost and I did not.
I had a 50-50 shot at the 50-50 coin. Yeah. Which, knowing Survivor, I feel like that's a genuine thing that they could and would do. So that's like a really smart way in my mind of Meryl playing it off.
Well, it's kind of like last season, right? Like, you lose your vote, but you get an idol, like something, or very similar. So, like, good on her for doing SA vibes.
Yeah. As a player, I'm still just going to assume that she has it, especially if I'm Marion and already like see her as the like biggest threat in the game. I'm probably not going to believe anything that she says.
Very that. Like, everybody's come back from the outpost with something that is still in the game, except for Phil.
Yeah.
Because I didn't accurately predict Palesa. I'm still mad.
Who did?
Not me, and I'm still sad about it.
Not me. I didn't love it.
We did a lot. There was a lot of sadness in the last episode, Ashley.
Yeah,
you missed
tears.
all the sadness.
I'm sad. miss the sadness, but I'm here to be talking about happy things happening at Tribal.
We had a whole episode devoted to nothing but Palesa, so it was great.
Period.
Let's talk about this wild freaking Tribal, because it very quickly turns into Tajan versus Meryl.
It's more like Tajan versus everyone.
Right, everyone, yeah.
Because Tajan like was blindsided by the Tony vote, and nobody's talking to Tajan. So Tajan just assumes, I guess, that he's like the next target, or he's leaning into like, I'm the next target to like keep Dante from playing his like fake idol that people still aren't sure if it's real or not. Which Tajan should know that it's not real. Like.
Yeah. I mean, I respect Tajan's, like, if no one's talking to me, no one's giving me a solid name, like, it's probably me, right? Because in games, I've got those vibes where I'm like, no one's giving me anything.
Yeah.
I'm probably going here, aren't I? Like, I feel that. I get that. I strongly understand it. Like, it's a hard place to be. Like, yeah, you just burned an idol. Like, I get it. But, you know, he said, take my stress and do what? The whole tribe gets it.
Yeah, and so he, like, really leans into this, like the ladies are, like, absolutely, like, wielding all the power, like specifically Meryl, like, this, that, and the other thing. It was wild.
And I quote, the jury won't vote for a goat, and the female members of the majority are wielding the power.
Interesting.
You know what else is interesting? Ashley Keenan calling me out on Twitter.
I would never. I didn't tweet at you. It was a sub.
No, you sure didn't, and you're lucky I found it.
It's a sub tweet.
Sabotage.
I'm projecting.
Sabotage.
I would never.
Make sure to follow us all on Twitter.
For the behind-the-scene drama.
Just kidding. Ashley's hasn't.
They can't find me.
No, it'll be in the description. But...
we're having too much fun in this one.
This is a mess.
It's at Ashley B. Keenan, but right there.
I'm aware.
I wasn't telling you. I was telling the 500 viewers that this episode is definitely going to get.
I wish it was 500. Anyway, and then Dante gets up mid-tribal to, guess what, y'all? Once again tell Marion to vote out Dino.
They're like, we have to do this vote. Like, this is the only thing that makes sense.
Well, and there was a moment. I think I skipped over it. Oh, so Dante and Tajan are having this conversation earlier in the day. I wanted to bring this up because Dante is basically like, you're going to vote out Dino.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he's trying to stiff-hand him.
Yeah, and then he straight up says, this time you're going to do this for me. And this is where Shane has the full flip.
Yeah, is like, I did not like that. I did not appreciate that. I don't like that kind of gameplay. Like, this was not cool, in my opinion. Yeah. Like...
Right. He's like, enough. He says, let's try again.
And you know what happens?
Like, watch your tone.
Manners in karma.
Karma is what happens.
Karma is what happens because Dante's gone! This man gets up while Nico is, like, announcing, like, 11th person. I think it was 10th person. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, he's reading the last... Like, he's reading the last vote.
In the 12th person voted out of...
Second member of the jury.
Yeah,
he's already like, bye!
Yeah, it was... I mean... There have not been many times, if any at all, where you don't see the host reading and holding up the last vote. And we don't really see that because the camera is on Dante standing up while he's still talking to go get his storage. And then he basically stiff hands everybody on the way out. It's like, don't touch me. Like, I'm leaving.
I screamed when he literally, like, Meryl's like, love you, and he's like, just like a firm, like, handshake, and Meryl's like, oh,
Like, do not. I want nothing to do with this right now. He was not happy. I don't know why. It really still is very confusing to me that why he would be upset about a game. But, you know, to each their own, I guess.
Hashtag
Bye,
vote Dante
fucker.
out challenge. It happened.
Complete.
It happened.
It finally happened. He's gone.
And you know the best part he gets to do is he gets to go to jury house
with
Tony. Which I'm sure they played like a lot of great games and braided each other's hair.
I'm pretty sure they sat on opposite ends of that Ponderosa table and ate their food in silence.
Well, no, I'm sure Tony tried to talk.
Oh, because Tony can't stop talking. So Tony was talking at Dante.
Dante's just staring, probably.
Yeah.
Just walking around the jury house, like slapping hands.
With no clothes. Probably like half clothes on, you know.
Oh no, he's only gonna be wearing
a shirt. Only wearing a shirt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A dress shirt. Yep, we got it.
Well, that's that. We are working our way back through Survivor SA. We're gonna be caught up very shortly, so make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching this madness.
We've had chaos, but it's merge. If merge doesn't have chaos, are we doing it correctly?
No,
it's very true. The second half of this week is absolutely chaotic, and I like.
Can't wait to talk more about it.
So good.
Pretty sure all three of us will be back to talk about it soon. So with that, fuck Dante.
Cheers, and I said that shit.
Cheers, and I said that shit, bitch.
Ooh.
Ooh, new outro.
Make sure you don't pee on the way out. Pee before.
Don't pee on Steffi. Whatever you do.
Or eat her oatmeal.
Or eat her oatmeal. Whatever you do. Whatever you do.